I had the results and the receipts, and I didn't get the raise that I knew that I deserved. That incident is what got me serious about trying to quit my job. Hey guys, this is Nobu with MakingSenseOfDebt.com, where we discuss understanding finances, leveraging debt, and finding your financial freedom, whatever that looks like to you. It is official, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I have quit my six-figure corporate job. I am no longer working for the man. I am no longer building somebody else's dream. I am building my own damn dream. If you have ever wanted to quit your job, go ahead and leave a comment below and let us know why you wanted to quit your job. But just make sure that your username is anonymous, because you know that there is always somebody from work lurking, and I don't want you to get got, okay? Today, I want to just walk through why I quit my job. There are several small incidences and events that caused me to leave my job, but all of them all boil down to three major buckets, which is number one, math, number two, being real with myself, and number three, knowing myself. Let's get started with the math. I am a very analytical person. When I have numbers and figures in front of me, it's really easy for me to make decisions. I don't usually make emotional decisions. I usually just calculate. I had just gotten a promotion and moved my butt to Indianapolis, and I had a conversation about my pay. I got a much lower raise than I was expecting. I was the top sales representative in my sales district, and this new boss that I had transferred to thought that was only worth a 4% raise, which I disagreed with. Because of this conversation, I went home and I actually looked through every single year of pay increase that I had gotten. And that particular year, in terms of dollar amount, was absolutely the lowest amount. But more importantly than that, what I noticed was that with every single year that I got a raise, the minimum pay for my job level also went up. So realistically, when I looked at the percentage of increase compared to the minimum starting pay of the role, I really hadn't increased my pay at all. And I thought about it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I thought, I read, I crafted my email to my new boss, and I was ready to send that email Monday morning, 8 a.m. sharp. But then I took a step back and thought things through. And I thought, okay, so I huff and puff. I cause all this back and forth. Maybe I get an extra 2%. Maybe she'll even give me an extra 3%. But realistically, when I thought about that $3,000, $4,000 stretched over a whole year, the amount of work and effort to get that little bit amount didn't make sense. It especially didn't make sense when in one of my rentals, I was making $1,000 every single month in profit. So when I thought about how much I had worked the year before and how little I was getting compensated for my work, I decided after that conversation that I was going to focus my energy on guaranteeing my money outside of my job and not worrying about getting raises at work. And so I got serious about finding a property, and that's when I purchased my second house, which is located in Indianapolis. And after just 1 year of owning that house, I made a heck of a lot more than I would have made groveling for an extra 2% at work. This very house that I bought actually ended up playing a big part in me being able to quit my job. If you want to know exactly how it fits into this quitting puzzle, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. Being real with myself was a huge part of my decision-making process. If you asked me 3-4 years ago what was most important to me in a job, I would, no question, really quickly tell you the dollars and the cents. In my head, I thought that the more money that I made, I could do whatever kind of job and it would just be fine. Until the year that I made the most amount of money that I ever made, and I was the most miserable I had ever been in my life. I had a manager who was just terrible and was the worst micromanager, which does not mesh well with my Zen work situation. In addition to that, I had a brand new job as a corporate sales trainer in which I was working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it was a very grueling job. And I had a boss that could give two shits about what I was doing, what my teammates were doing. And that combination did not work well for me. I got extremely depressed. I could barely function at work. I would get anxiety attacks at work. I would get anxiety attacks even just thinking about talking to my boss. I am so thankful for my friends that encouraged me to go to see a therapist, because I do not know where I would be if it wasn't for that. And part of the reason why I just got so depressed is that I felt like I was stuck. I had this boss who was terrible. I made attempts to find new jobs in the company, and those attempts were blocked by her and her boss and a few other people. Thankfully, she got a new boss and I was able to apply for a new job and get away from underneath her. Even though in that job, my boss was great, my job was great, I had a lot less stress. When I took a step back and thought about it, I never, ever wanted to be in another situation again where a boss, a job, a company was holding my mental health hostage. I never want to go through that again. 2020 really did help me get 2020 vision with all the stuff that was happening in the world with the Rona. I asked myself, if I was gonna get sick and die today, how would I feel about what I was doing? And the answer to that was that I really did not have any desire to climb the corporate ladder. And when I thought even harder, when I said, okay, if I stay in this company, I'm going to come across another boss. Do I want to go through that again? And the answer to that was no. And so it became crystal clear to me that I needed to get extra serious now about getting out of my job, which leads us to me knowing myself. I felt like I was stuck. I couldn't get another job. And if I decided to quit and leave the company, I would have to pay back a whole bunch of money because the company had just moved me. And it would have put me upwards of $30,000 in debt, which made me extremely nervous because I have worked so hard to pay off debt, and the idea of jumping back into that different kind of bondage just didn't work for me. And so the longer I just stayed and dealt with my boss, the more and more depressed that I got. Before I started that corporate sales training job, I had this goal in mind to retire by the time I was 40. My thought was to buy 10 multifamily properties and cash flow $1,000 every single month. That way I'd make $10K a month and I could just quit and live happily ever after. I definitely have not made it to 10 buildings. I have too, but that terrible job experience plus 2020 right after that really helped me to speed through and get to know myself better and be crystal clear on what's important to me. And what I can tell you is that right now, my top priority is my happiness and spending time with my family. And that's it. I wasn't willing to sacrifice another 3-4 years in corporate America to get to my 10 houses. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that I don't want any money. I am absolutely trying to secure the bag. I just want to secure that bag in a way that is comfortable for me and in a way that works for me. And most importantly, in a way that doesn't allow somebody else to hijack my mental health and hijack my well-being. I am never doing that again. I will never be in a situation where I have to stay somewhere when I have somebody that is just crushing my soul. The only way to avoid that is to have your FU money in the bank saved up and your FU side hustle ready to go and producing so that you can live your life on your own terms and have that flexibility to walk away from a situation that is not bringing you value. So my FU side hustle is real estate. For most people, your biggest line item in your budget is either your rent or your mortgage. And right now, I don't have a mortgage payment because I was able to pay off that house in Indiana in under 2 years. If you want to know the details on how I was able to do that, just go ahead and drop down Indiana in the comments below. And if enough people want it, I will make that video. And remember, I have that other property in New York City, which gives me $1,000 every single month after all expenses are paid. So because I don't have a mortgage or rent payment, my living expenses are extremely low. The only thing that I need to worry about really is my check to Sally Mae, my electricity, my gas, and a few extra coins for some food. So I definitely have enough that I can survive on. Now, of course, I am not trying to just survive. I am trying to thrive, honey. So if you want to hear all my adventures in entrepreneurship and real estate and figuring out this whole retired early life, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that red button down there. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time as we continue on our journey to financial freedom. Peace.